When I'm at Western, it's almost like I'm not even in Bowling Green. It's like Western's its own community.
And I think that's partly because there's so many people from so many other places too, and you meet them, and it does kind of have its own little community around Western.
Being from Bowling Green, living on campus, people, before I got to college, people were always like, oh, you're going to Western, you're going to live on campus, it'll be just like high school. I rarely ever see anybody that I went to school with.
It really wasn't as scary as I thought. I had done GSP the summer before college, so that kind of gave me a little bit of a preview to how college was like.
I feel like it's very different when you come to college. It's like, I mean, that's it. You're expected to be an adult. Like, your professors don't baby you. No, like, they just put you in a situation where you're like, you're supposed to do this, this, and this. I'll see you next week.
There is a lot more responsibility on you to get everything done. There's not deadlines. They like say it like once or twice, but that's it until like the day it's due.
It's the adult factor. It's like you gotta kind of sink or swim in college, and being in class, going from high school to a college class, being from like 25 people to 125 people is definitely a big shock.
I guess one thing I would say to my high school self was the work in high school does matter to some extent, actually a very big extent.
I felt like I did not need to just slide by in high school. I needed to force myself to take these classes, to take the hard classes, so that when I do get to college, that I will be able to study. I will know how to study. I will have learned how to study from my high school classes.
And I had a blast my senior year, but I still had those like rigorous courses, and I think that's what really helped me transitioning, because it was basically like I was in college in my senior year of high school.
There's not so much homework as there is tests, and you really need to find out how to study. That's the most important thing I guess you can learn from high school, is just how to be a good studier.
I always make a study guide. I usually try to do that a few days before, and because I do take notes by hand, because I'd rather do that than a laptop, because I feel like I remember it better.
Being away from my parents has really kind of motivated me to do like better. Like in high school, I'd kind of just be lazy and get by with whatever I could, but here I've been really trying hard and doing extra things. And
you're kind of forced into it. You just kind of go out there and figure out if you can or can't do it. And if you can't do it, then you learn how to do it.
You don't realize it until you actually stop and sit down and like, wow, I'm an adult. I'm doing these things. Like I'm going to work. I'm paying bills. I'm doing laundry. Like you are your own person, and you really are on your own.
In high school, it was like there's a popularity contest. You can't really be that popular in college because there's too many of us. So you just have to find out where you fit the best, and that's where you go.
There's hundreds of clubs on campus for any major, any hobby that you like. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to join something that you really like to do.
There's all this freedom to meet people and freedom to do different things that you don't really experience until you get to college.
I think there was like the initial transition of like, you don't have to come to class if you don't want to, or the teachers aren't going to like be there to be like, you need to do this. Like you have to be like really self-motivated.
When you're thrown out in that freedom for the first time, it's like you kind of go crazy. It's like, oh, I can stay up till 2 in the morning. Oh, but I have an 8 a.m. That wasn't smart.
It's really easy to get caught up in like hanging out with friends and stuff. So you got to just kind of schedule times to study and, not get caught up in everything.
When I was in high school, I visited a few schools that I thought I was just in love with until I went there, and I was just like, I knew it wasn't right for me. Go to the school, go visit school, look at the campus, look at the life, and look at if you're comfortable there. If you feel like you could see yourself there, you could see yourself walking down to class, you could see yourself walking to that building.
It's easy to go where your friends are going or close to home, but make sure that where you're going has what you want to do and that they've got a good program.
Even if you don't know what you want to do, choosing a college should be based on what else is offered and what like really feels right, and you could see yourself being there for 4 years.
I feel like Western is where I was supposed to go.
I love the atmosphere. I love the people. I love just being in this place.
It's like a really exciting time. Like what I do here is going to determine like everything later on in life.